Most of the spices in your cabinet have darker histories than any crime novel. Some started wars. Some are worth more than gold. And at least one has the power to completely mess with your brain. But here's the thing. You've probably been eating counterfeit cinnamon your whole life. And that vanilla in your ice cream? Someone had to hand-pollinate it, one flower at a time. Welcome to the secret lives of spices. Black pepper seems boring, but for centuries it wasn't. This dried fruit was so valuable that it literally shaped world trade, changed which countries became powerful, even influenced which continents got explored. And here's the weird part. Black, green, white, and red pepper, they all come from the exact same plant. The only difference is when you harvest it and how you dry it. That's it. Same plant. 4 completely different spices. The real power? Piperine. 1 compound. That's what creates the heat. Then something changed history. Before 1492, chili peppers didn't exist in Asia. No curries with heat. No Korean kimchi. No Sichuan food as we know it. Spanish and Portuguese traders brought chili from the Americas to the world, and it spread like wildfire. Today you can't imagine Indian, Thai, or Chinese cuisine without chili. But here's what most people get wrong. The heat isn't in the seeds. It's in the white tissue surrounding them. Concentrated. Dense. Waiting. When you eat chili, capsaicin doesn't literally burn your tongue. It tricks your brain. It activates the same receptors that respond to actual heat. Your brain thinks your mouth is on fire. It's basically a chemistry trick that tastes like pain. Here's the problem. Most of what you think is cinnamon isn't actually cinnamon. It's cassia, a close relative, and it's everywhere. Cassia is darker, stronger, more intense, cheaper. True Ceylon cinnamon from Sri Lanka is delicate, floral, complex, and most people have never tasted it. But here's how it's made. Farmers don't harvest a seed or a fruit. They cut young branches, strip the outer bark, peel away the thin inner layer. As it dries, that layer curls. That little brown stick in your spice rack? It's literally tree bark. And cinnamon was once so valuable that merchants went to extreme lengths to keep its origin secret. For centuries, Europeans didn't know where it came from. Mustard pulls off the same trick. Dry mustard seed? Boring. Almost nothing. Crush it. Add water. Suddenly, everything changes. Grinding the seed triggers enzymes that create pungent compounds. The heat isn't waiting there. You're creating it. But that bright yellow mustard in the bottle? Not actually from mustard seeds. Turmeric is added for the color. The seed itself is brown. So that classic condiment is partly spice, partly pigment, partly chemistry experiment. Now we get to the truly absurd. Saffron is often called the most expensive spice in the world. And the reason is almost comically simple. Each saffron flower produces exactly 3 red stigmas. Not 4. Not 5. 3. And they have to be harvested by hand. The flowers bloom for only 2 to 3 weeks per year, which means farmers have a narrow window. It takes 1,000 plus flowers to produce 1 ounce of saffron. That's why genuine saffron costs $15, $20, sometimes $30 per teaspoon. More than cocaine. And those tiny threads don't just add color. They create a floral, earthy aroma that's almost impossible to replicate. But vanilla has its own impossible story. That flavor in your ice cream comes from an orchid. Yes, an orchid. And outside its native range, there's a problem. The plant's natural pollinator doesn't exist. So for centuries, workers couldn't grow it commercially anywhere except by hand. And I mean literally by hand. Workers would pollinate individual flowers, one by one, using tiny brushes. That's how vanilla became expensive. But it gets weirder. Freshly harvested vanilla pods? They don't smell like vanilla. They have to undergo a long curing process. Weeks of heating, drying, wrapping. During that time, chemical reactions happen. The pods turn dark. The aroma develops. What you smell isn't the raw plant. It's the result of careful chemistry. You've probably never thought about nutmeg being dangerous, but in large doses, it is, very much so. Nutmeg contains myristicin, a compound that can trigger hallucinations, severe nausea, and organ damage. So that tiny spice that goes into bechamel sauce, in the right or wrong dose, it becomes a drug. Not something you want to experiment with, but something that shows how powerful these plants are. Ginger looks like a regular root. It's not. It's a rhizome, an underground stem, which means it grows sideways through the soil, constantly producing new shoots. That's why fresh ginger looks so strange when you pull it from the ground. You're basically extracting the plant's underground skeleton. Ginger has traveled centuries and continents. From ancient Asian cuisines to medieval Europe to modern coffee shops, same plant, completely different forms. Fresh ginger, pickled, powdered, candied, ginger ale. Each one is a completely different experience. This is where things get strange. Sichuan pepper isn't actually pepper. It's the dried husk of a fruit from the citrus family. And it doesn't just make your mouth hot like chili. It makes your tongue tingle, buzz, vibrate, almost like tiny electrical shocks. That sensation comes from compounds called sanshuls. They interact with sensory receptors in your mouth and create something your brain has never experienced before. It's like your tongue is receiving a signal it doesn't know how to process. And that's what makes Sichuan pepper so useful. Chili gives you heat. Sichuan gives you sensation. Together, they create the famous combination in Sichuan cuisine. Cloves have their own strange origin. They're not seeds, not berries, not bark. They're dried flower buds, harvested before the flowers bloom, then dried until they turn dark brown. And here's the crazy part. Cloves used to grow naturally in only one place on Earth, the Maluku Islands of Indonesia. That made them invaluable. European powers literally fought wars over control of these islands. The Dutch destroyed clove trees in areas outside their control to restrict production, all for a flower bud the size of your fingernail. Cardamom rounds things out as one of the world's most expensive spices by weight. It's strongly associated with South Asian and Middle Eastern cuisine, but it also became deeply embedded in Scandinavian culture. Sweden and other Nordic countries use cardamom in breads and pastries in ways that would surprise someone who only knows it from Indian cooking. That's the thing about spices. They travel. They adapt. They transform cuisines. So here's the thing about spices. A dried fruit becomes pepper. A tree bark becomes cinnamon. A flower bud becomes clove. An orchid becomes vanilla. An underground stem becomes ginger. And a single flower stigma becomes the most valuable ingredient on Earth. These aren't just flavors. They're plants that learn to change the world. Which spice are you trying next?